highly posted this attorney. Om Jana Timirandasya Yananjana Salakayan Chakshurmalitan Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishnu Sapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Vedati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Gurun Shri Yuta Parakamala Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunatha Tantan Sativa Sadvaitam Savadutam Puritana Savitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakamitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisai Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhi Vrindavanishwari Vrisavana Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Panchakal Pataru Vyaschan Kripa Sandhivya Pacha Patitanam Pavinivyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Sri Mukunda-mālā-stotra Ki Jai Sri Kulaśekhara Maharaj Ki Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Hare Krishna. Very happy to be with all of you this evening. And, yes, we're looking at Mukunda-mālā-stotra, text number 20. Text 20. It's a translation. It's a prophet, but by its proper disciples. It's a proper disciples. O tongue, praise the glorious Lord Keshav. O mind, worship the enemy of Mura. O hands, serve the Lord of Sri. O ears, hear the topics of Lord Achyuta. O eyes, gaze upon Sri Krishna. O feet, go to the temple of Lord Hari. O nose, smell the tulasi buds on Lord Mukunda's feet. O head, bow down to Lord Adhokshaja. A translation. Here the poet orders each of his senses to cooperate in serving the Lord. The spirit soul is higher than the senses, and so it is right that he should order them. Kulaśekhara Maharaj is teaching us what Krishna has told us in Bhagavad Gita. This is not an advice, it is a command. Not the Krishna is advising us, if you like, you take it. If you don't like it, don't take it. It's an order. Mad Mana Bo, Mad Bhakta, Mandaji, Mam Namaskuru, Mam. This is an order given by Lord Krishna. So Kulaśekhara Maharaj, who had perfected this order of Krishna, is sharing his realization, and in this way he's teaching us what we should do. That our tongue will fulfill the purpose when our tongue is constantly engaged, Satatam, Krita, Yantuman, always chanting the glories of Lord Kesha. This is the purpose of the tongue. The tongue should be engaged in chanting the glories of Krishna. The tongue should be engaged in testing Krishna Prasada. These two things, the tongue should be engaged in. Kulaśekhara Maharaj said that this is how we should engage the tongue. If you don't do this, it's a violation of Krishna's order, which is liable for punishment. The tongue should not be used for anything else more than to chant the glories of Krishna. Yes. When an opportunity for glorifying the Lord comes, the devotees will be very, very eager. It is inauspicious for devotee to say, I'm tired, I cannot speak about Krishna. That is inauspicious. I'm tired, I cannot speak. Then why are we devotees? So Kulaśekhara Swami said, for a good servant, when the time to render service is available, whenever there is a chance to serve, a good servant is ready and is happy to execute that service, because a bona fide servant will always be being mindful that you always consider, this is a chance for me to do my service. It's a chance for me to make advancement. It's a chance for me to show my love, my appreciation. So whenever there is chance for you to talk about Krishna, to be jubilant, to be happy, and to be enthusiastic in doing it. It shouldn't be a moderation to speak about Krishna. Oh mind, worship the enemy of Mura. The mind should constantly think about Krishna. To constantly think about Krishna, always, it requires constantly chanting, glorifying the Supreme Personality, describing his wonderful activities and his qualities. If the mind is not engaged in thinking about Krishna, if the mind is not engaged in planning how to do our services for Krishna's pleasure, the mind will engage us in doing sinful activities. There are only two ways about it. Either it is Krishna consciousness or it is Maya. There's nothing like I'm neutral. There's no neutrality here. O mind, worship the enemy of Mura. The duty of the mind. The mind becomes very developed. The mind becomes purified. The mind becomes joyful, becomes satisfied. Only if we constantly think about Krishna, the enemy of Mura Asura. That's the purpose of the mind. So Krishna told us to be conscious. His Holiness Bhakti has an elaborate explanation about just this one word, man-mana. So he said we should be mindful. A Krishna conscious person is mindful. Mindful about everything. Our life, our whole life in Krishna consciousness, be mindful about our lives in Krishna consciousness. Mindful about what we eat, how we eat, what we hear, what we talk, where we go, what we do, what we see, how we associate, how we sit, how we walk. Mindful. Yes. O hand, serve the Lord of Sri, the Lord of Lakshmi. That's the purpose of the hand. In the same way, if the hands, if the mind, if the tongue are not engaged in rendering Krishna, chanting the holy name of Krishna, and working for Krishna with our hands, we're cooking or writing, we're painting, something. The profession of hands is to serve Lord Krishna, be engaged in doing things. We are stitching something. The hands is engaged in something which has connection with Krishna. Oh yes, hear the topics of Lord Achyuta. So hear the ears are meant for that. The ear is meant for hearing about Krishna. Krishna only. To hear about Krishna. Krishna's pure devotees. Oh eyes, gaze upon Sri Krishna, the beautiful. Krishna, the beautiful. We remember how the gopis chastised with Brahma very severely. This Brahma does not know how to create. He's not intelligent. He should go to school to go and learn how to create. The gopis wanted that we should have eyelids so that it doesn't blink. Because the moment of blinking, the gopis consider that to be very, very, very terrible situation. Very terrible attack. That for a moment of not seeing Krishna, it is very, very agonizing. Very painful. A moment. And the cowhead boys, they told Krishna. So Krishna, when we are playing together in the course of our play, when you just move behind a tree, just for that moment, or just going behind a tree, we feel our life to be useless and ending. So, if you go to a different country, then what will happen to us? That means death. We are dead. If we are playing together, we are together, and you just go behind a tree, we feel so much pain. What do you think it will happen when you now go to different country? I'm going to Mauritius. what would happen to us? Krishna, have you thought of this carefully before he accepts the request to go to Mathura? The eyes are meant for that. The gaze upon Sri Krishna is beautiful. Seeing Krishna, there's nothing else to be seen. Yes. Said about Diva Mangalacarana. Diva Mangalacarana, Krishna Kana. And dear Lord Krishna, how will I handle my inauspicious days of not seeing you? My inauspicious day of not seeing you is inauspicious. How will I handle my days, my inauspicious days? You tell me, teach me how I should handle my inauspicious days without seeing you. Because the eyes are meant for seeing you. So what will happen if I don't see you? Oh, feet, go to the temple of Lord Hari. Go to the temple of Lord Hari. The feet is meant for going to holy places. Krishna has performed pastimes. The temple Krishna also dwells, and to dance for Krishna is the purpose of having the feet. Places Krishna has performed pastimes. Those are the places that the feet should take us to. And that is called Vrindavan. Therefore, in Vrindavan Mahamrita, we have been advised that if our feet tells us to take us anywhere outside the place of Krishna's pastimes, the place of temple, we should use a club hammer and break our feet into pieces so it doesn't have the strength to take us out. So use club hammer to break the feet, crush it. You should use club hammer to crush our feet. So it doesn't tell to take us anywhere. To remain in Vrindavan, dancing for Krishna. Oh, feet, go to the temple of the Hari. Oh, nose, smell the tulasi buds on Lord Mukunda's feet. At the purpose of the nose, smell the fragrance of tulsi buds, tulsi leaves. We should smell that. Only once the Kumaras smelled that, they became personalists, became transformed, became pure devotees. So the nose is meant for that. It's like how Kanapura Goswami said the Srimati Radharani's sweet smelling night dress. Sweet smelling night dress. We should hanker for that. We should smell that. The incense offered to Krishna, Radha, Krishna, and Krishna's pure devotees. We should smell all this. Oh, head, bow down to Lord Bhokshaja. The head should be always at the feet of Lord Krishna and his pure devotees. Sukadeva Goswami is quoted here in the purport from the second canto of Bhagavatam. So we'll look through it. It's an introduction. So now we'll look through. Let's look at the Swami said about this wonderful devotional experience of Kulaśekhara. Here, the poet orders each of his senses to cooperate in serving the Lord. The senses to be consciously engaged in this prescribed duties. The spirit soul is higher than the senses, and so it is right that we should order our senses to be engaged in Krishna's service. Indriyani parnahu, indriya paramara. Mansastu param buddhiri jo buddhe paratastu saha. The working senses are superior to dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind. And he, the soul, is even higher than the intelligence. In the next verse, Krishna recommends that we should use the higher self to control the lower self. The spirit soul should control the 8 material elements which the soul inhabits. Text 19 and 20 of Mukunda-mālā-stotra call to mind. A series of verses by Sonaka is in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, text 20 to 24. One who has not listened to the messages about the prowess and marvelous act of the personality of Godhead, and has not sung or chanted loudly the worthy songs about the Lord, is to be considered to possess ear holes like the holes of snakes. The snake lives in, and the tongue like the tongue of a frog. The frog is croaking. Prabhupada said, the frog is croaking, but the croaking is inviting death. The snake being called upon. The croaking of a frog is signaling the snake where the food is for the snake to eat. So similarly, if we do not engage our tongue in talking about Krishna only, we are talking about mundane things, which Rupa Goswami said will destroy our bhakti. Definitely, the death will come upon us. That is sure. That is sure. The upper portion of the body, though crowned with a silk turban, is only a heavy burden if not bow down before the personality of Godhead, who can award freedom from birth and death. Turban on the head, or crowned, the crown on the head of one who is not bound down to the lotus feet of Krishna and his pure devotees. It's a heavy load. It's not a crown. It is a load to push the person down to hell. Therefore, to offer obeisances is a part of perfection. We have discussed about it separately. Of course, it's not sufficient. It cannot be. It cannot be limited. It's unlimited. offer obeisances to the Supreme Person of the Godhead. Some of you describe it, he explained it nicely in Chaitanya. By offering obeisances, we get our sins destroyed. So very, very important that we should learn, we should practice every day. Offering obeisances, proper Vishnu Chakravarti at least minimum 3 times. Minimum. Maximum can be any number, but minimum is 3. At least 3 times a day. The upper portion of the body, though crowned with the silk turban, is only a heavy burden. If not bowed down before the personality of Godhead, who can award mukti, liberation from birth to death? And the hands, though decorated with glittering bangles, like those of a dead man, if not engaged in the service of the personality of Godhead, Hari. Yes, what is the best? What is the use of having head? The head is so remove ourselves from material tabernacle once and for all, to go back to Godhead, where we will not return again to this material, miserable material world, where everything is a struggle. It's a struggle only. Yes. And the hands, though decorated with glittering bangles, are like those of a dead man, if not engaged in the service of the personality of Godhead, Hari. The eyes which do not look at the symbolic representations, deity forms of the personality of Godhead, Vishnu, are like those printed on the plumes of the peacock. And the legs which do not move to the holy places where the Lord is remembered are considered to be like 3 trunks. A tree is standing in one place, doesn't move. So if we are not using our leg to go to holy places, Christians have become pastimes. And our walking is sinful and useless, like a trunk of trees, 3 trunks. A person who has not at any time received the dust of the feet that the Lord spewed the water upon his head is certainly a dead body. The foot baths the dust from the feet and the water that washes the feet of the pure devotees. They are considered the ornament or the paraphernalia we needed to become successful in our Christian consciousness. Success in Christian consciousness requires this. That is success. Our eyes should be used in seeing the Lord. The Lord has come down on his own sweet will to give us the audience, to give us darshan, so we can see and forget about the beauty of this material world and become attracted to real beauty, the real object of vision. It is a misfortune. Therefore, Kulaśekhara Maharaj is encouraging us, reminding us, advising us to do what is necessary. Yes. And a person who has never experienced the aroma of the tulasi flowers decorating the lotus feet of the Lord is also a dead body. Although breathing, certainly that heart is still framed, which, in spite of one's chanting the holy name of the Lord with concentration, does not change and feel ecstasy, at which time tears fill the eyes and the hair stand on end. The heart is still framed. Iron. The heart is hard like iron. It does not melt in kirtan of the Lord, the glorification of the Lord, chanting the activities of the Lord. Yes. Yes. Each of our senses may help or hinder us in devotional service. If we allow even one sense free rein, it can seriously distract our mind, just as a gust of wind can sweep away an unanchored sailboat on the ocean. The Supreme Personality of God has senses, and so do we. And our perfection lies in serving Kulaśekhara, the Lord of the senses, with all our senses. Engaging all our senses in serving the Master of the senses. We should cooperate by engaging our senses in the service of the Master of the senses. Sarvapadi Dhira Muktam Tatpatuna Dhirmalam Kulaśekhara Sevanam Bhakti Uchate. Yes, the Lord of the senses, with all of our senses. We may engage our senses in the service of Krishna or in the service of Maya, illusion. This choice is vividly shown in the verses by Kulaśekhara Maharaj and Swami. For example, our sincere singing kirtan may please the Supreme Lord and evoke His mercy, or our materialistic songs will resemble the frog's croaking, which attract the predator snake, death. Similarly, we may be beautified by bowing our head before the Lord, or that same head, burdened by ornament and pride, will drag us down into the ocean of birth and death. A person in a high social position is often too proud to humble himself before the deity in the temple. In that case, he will be pulled down by his own pride. Just as a man who falls overboard in the ocean is pulled down by his heavy clothes and headdresses. In Lord Chaitanya's time, King Prataparudra set a perfect example for a worldly leader by performing the menial service of sweeping the road before Lord Jagannath's chariot. In this way, he showed his ordination to the Almighty. Whatever we have, whatever we will have, whatever we know, everything that we do, they are all given to us by Krishna, the Supreme. So an intelligent servant should use everything within our reach to please the Lord, who has given us the opportunity. And that is the success of life, to please the Master with our sincere service. That is important service. Maharapurata Buddha did this perfectly. It's a perfect example. He will come and sweep the road before. He's a king, he's a big position, he has power. But he knows, he's very, very fortunate to know that the person who has placed him on the throne, so he respected, he worshipped. So Kulaśekhara Maharapurata never disrespected the person who has placed him on the throne. He knows that he's sitting on the throne on behalf of Krishna. And the Krishna who placed him there. The person who placed you there can also remove you. Like what happened to King Bena. He said he placed him on the throne. When he misbehaved, they said, they remove him. They have power to do that. So we should be sensible, we should be fortunate enough to recognize who has given a position we are holding now. All of us should know very carefully that the position we have now, it is not because of our qualification, because there are so many people who have more qualification than we have. There are so many people who have better experience than what we have. So it is the costless mercy. Our qualification may be just the effort we made that attract Krishna to bless us. We should not forget that effort alone is not enough. That little effort we make will attract Krishna's mercy to place us in position. Therefore, we should always recognize the person who has given us the position we are holding now. Maharapurata was fortunate to understand that. Say he will come down from the throne to sweep the road for Lord Jagannath to walk through. How would Jagannath not bless him? How would Jagannath not protect him? How would Jagannath not give him prayer? Because he's very fortunate. Not all of us have that fortune. Therefore, for most of us, the position we are given is punishment. Very, very few people have the fortune that the service which they have is a blessing. Majority of all, the position we have now is punishment. The best way to punish a person who is falsely proud to give him a big post. And the best way to punish a falsely proud person. Yes. One can best serve the Lord's senses by serving his devotees. So the proper state. Krishna is the proprietor. Krishna is the property of his pure devotee, unconditioned devotees. And as such, only the devotees can deliver Krishna to another devotee. Krishna is never obtainable directly. Bhagavatam 2.3.23 purport. A disciple should therefore use his senses to perform all kinds of services for the satisfaction of his guru. When we think that, yes, the guru depends on me, that position is not a fortune, it's a misfortune. Our position is a fortune when we always recognize the person who has kept us there. We should engage not only our senses, but also our mind in the Lord's service. If the senses are engaged, but the mind is not engaged, it's useless. There's nothing which is done by the senses that is perfect. The things which is done by the mind, it purifies us. things which are done by the senses does not purify. Or what is done by the mind. When the mind is engaging our senses, because the mind is the master of all the senses. When the mind is engaging the senses, it means that we are conscious of what we are doing. That's how we will purify us. Even if it is not Krishna, even if it is material, we'll get the best results from it. In the same way, if the mind are being controlled, but the mind is not controlled, it is dangerous. We have not done anything good yet. But if the mind is controlled, all that senses will become controlled. The mind, after all, provides the impetus for the actions of all the bodily limbs. Yes. If the mind does not give permission, the senses will not enjoy anything. It's the senses that make it's the mind that makes the senses enjoy anything, either material or spiritual. If the mind is not enjoying, the senses will not enjoy. Yes. Look at it very carefully. If the mind enjoys it, all the senses will enjoy it. If the mind say, "Oh, what kind of prasad is this?" You know, enjoy it. But if the mind says, "Oh, what a tasty prasadam," the senses will enjoy it. Even if it's not tasty, but provided the mind have accepted it, you enjoy it. So thinking of Krishna is the basis of all devotional service, as the Lord instructed in Bhagavad Gita 9:34. Think of me and become my devotee. The mind fixed in chanting and praying to Krishna will change the heart, which will transform the conditioned soul into a pure devotee. A pure devotee, therefore, is one whose body, mind, and words are all merged in devotional service to Krishna, with no room for illusion. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj, for highlighting the importance of engaging our senses in the service of the Lord. Not only one sensor, but all the sensors have to be engaged. So I have one question, Guru Maharaj.
Yes, go ahead.
You mentioned that in relation to our head, if it is not engaged in going down to the deities or to the pure devotees, then our head can pull us down in this material ocean. We can sink in the ocean of birth and death. So the question is, sometimes when there's Rath Yatra, and if the weather is rainy, so very often we have like pools of water on the ground. And when we just have darshan of the Lord, Jagannath, Baladev, and Subramanian, so we are supposed to, we have to bow down to the deities. But seeing the condition of the ground, there's water everywhere, so we feel like reluctant to obey senses physically. Then we obey like with the mind. So is it proper, Guru Maharaj?
The ground is wet. The ground is wet and very dirty. And you are so devotional, so pure. I can flat on the ground. Or last time we were doing the Golden Parikrama, it was raining. In some places, it's really muddy. We have to escape some places. And I saw some places the devotee were entering the water with their feet. If I put my feet there, I'll get sick. So you can fall there and offer business and I feel normal, and you get sick. You think that Jagannath will appreciate that? Do you think Jagannath would appreciate that? That could be considered a foolishness because you're going to get sick after some time. That would consider foolishness. So it's in a situation like that, they offer the blessings. I have so many devotees offering blessings in the water, in the street. As they still want to offer, I have to please, the ground is wet. It's okay. You want to offer blessing at this point. There's nothing wrong if you do it in the mind or with the folded hands, because there are different stages of offering blessings. Offering with the mind with the folded hand, where the ground is wet. That is not considered offense, not considered arrogance. But if you can do it and no problem, it's fine. Nothing wrong with it. But it doesn't make sense if you do it and fall sick the next day. It doesn't make sense. So we should consider it carefully before we do this. And that's why Krishna has given us the mind. Right? I don't know how many of us will go and eat what Raghunath Das Goswami was eating. I don't know how many of us will do it. What a cow cannot even eat. The cows have rejected it. It already decomposed. It's full of worms. You go and take it and wash it and put salt and eat. Remain, you don't go to hospital the next day. I don't know how many of us will have that qualification to do that. I will not do it because I know I'm not. My mind is not so developed to that extent. And when the mind is not so developed, that will be considered imitation, not following. That is imitation. Imitation is not good because it will not yield a good result. Following will give us good results because the attitude is perfect. The consciousness is correct. Just like we're talking about the mind. If the mind does things, that thing will be good. If the senses do things without the mind, it will not be good. For example, you are cooking in the kitchen, the mind is not there. You're cooking, all the senses are engaged. But your mind is not there, so food will be burnt. But if the mind is there, it will come wonderful. Wonderful. Yes. All right.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. I have a second question, Guru Maharaj. In fact, we have two questions. There is one question from the floor, and I have a second question, Guru Maharaj. Can I take it now, or we give chance to other devotees?
You're already speaking.
Okay, Guru Maharaj. So the question is, Guru Maharaj, you mentioned the free ornaments of a few devotees, like the dust from the lotus feet, then the foot bathing, and also
water that washes the feet.
Yes, so, yes, water that has
the dust and the
remnants. Yes. Regarding the water that has washed the lotus feet of the pure devotee, very often we see when there is foot bathing ceremony, after the ceremony they keep the water in a plate, then have the tendency to steal a bit from it and put on our head. while doing this action, like stealing the water and then sprinkling it on our head, what should be our consciousness, Guru? Is it like something physical, or there is something behind? What should be our attitude or consciousness?
Both physical, because you are throwing the water. That's physical. But why are we doing it? That's the most important thing. Why are we doing that? Is it a fashion? Or I'm doing because that is what other people are doing, which is foolish, and I don't understand what it is. Idol worship. But why are we doing it? That's the most important. We're doing it because this is what the scripture recommended, but we should be sure to see that the person is a pure devotee. He must be a pure devotee. So I know that it's a pure devotee. So I know that, yes, this is what the scripture recommended. But what time is saying these three things are conducive for success in Christian consciousness. So I'm taking this to enhance my bhakti. That is a consciousness. So when you're doing it with a good heart, you get the required result. You get the required result. If you are doing it, well, if I don't do it, people are going to say, this man is not faithful, doesn't have faith. Or this man have no respect. Okay, let me just do it to satisfy people. Still, you get little result, but not much. But one who is doing it with a full conviction, a full realization, and with the person is a pure devotee, you have full benefit. A devotee should do things nicely. They say, what doing well? What do they say? What doing? How they put it? There's some idiom they said. Just escape me. No, I remember what doing well. If it is something that is good, then you should do it properly. If it's not good, don't do it. If it is good, do it properly, do it perfectly, so that we can get a perfect result. That is what we have heard from the wise people. The Tapa Vidas, that's what they said. All right.
But Guru Maharaj, if in the first instance, instead of seeking permission to sprinkle the water on our head, we just like secretly we have stolen a bit, and then we sprinkle with proper consciousness. Is it proper?
We stole it.
Yes.
That is okay. Huh? That's okay. That's a good stealing. If you steal nectar, that is good now. Yes. It means you are greedy for it, so it will work more for you because you are greedy. So that is okay. But if you drank the whole thing and don't leave anything for that, then it is not good. It becomes a material greed. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were washing Gundicha temple. One devotee came and poured water in his feet, collected the water and drank everything. Then was, hey, Damodara, come and see this Bengali devotee, see what he did. Nonsense. Did I allow him to come to me again? So the devotee was selecting, but the devotee was very happy. Thank you. Thank you. I've done what I want to do, so it didn't happen. It's okay. I can die now, no problem. He knows the benefit. When he was washing time, we know why he did remove his feet. He left it there. The devotee washed everything, collected the water and drank it fully. He knows. He went back to Godhead. It's an etiquette. He was just showing that, not he's angry, but he's just showing that no, he's not doing that before the deity. So it's not become a principle for everybody. But he himself is a deity, so that law doesn't apply to him. The devotee knows that he's aware. So he did everything mindfully. So he cheated others who are just following principle, only just principle without bhakti. You miss the point. He was not following principle just for following sake. He was following principle with the full meaning, the full understanding. So he did that. And he got everything. To get a slap from Damodara Swami, that is blessing. Every sweet, that is nectar. That is not anger. It is not anger. That is bliss. Like not enough for kicking to another center on the stomach. Yes, powerful. That's a blessing. All right.
I have one question from the audience here. The question is, how to get the mind interested in Krishna consciousness when at present it is naturally attracted to all activities which are distractions in our Krishna consciousness, especially those distractions of the mobile phone.
Distraction from?
Mobile phone.
Mobile phone. The best way to get the mind off our material engagement is to hear about Krishna. That is why Kulaśekhara is teaching this. Let the mind be engaged in thinking about Krishna. That's the way to do that. And the mind to be engaged in thinking about Krishna, we have to hear. If we don't hear, we cannot think about Krishna. We have to hear constantly, and what we have heard, we're thinking about that, we're remembering that. That is Krishna consciousness. The mind is gradually and very systematically, very nicely, carefully disassociated from material. Not by mechanical means, just go and sit at the Himalayas and I want to make my mind zero. That is useless. It's to really hear about Krishna from pure devotees constantly and chant those glories of Krishna which we are hearing from pure devotees. That is the best way. And to be able to hear without distraction, then we have to put out all the necessary things, including the cell phone. That is why we are trying to help devotees. We are trying to help devotees to get devotees understand what we are missing. What we are missing, which we don't know. We are missing a lot by allowing unnecessary things to happen in our lives. So many unnecessary things. A cell phone. Cell phone is very destructive. And intelligent persons will be very, very, very careful. We are trying our best to see that we help devotees at the risk of offending many devotees. But I had got my courage from Sri Bhakti Siddhanta. He said, I have most probably given many people troubles in the mind. Some of them might have thought about me that I am their enemy, because I was obliged to speak the plain truth for service and devotion towards the absolute Godhead. I have given them all those troubles only for the reason that they may turn their face towards the personality of Godhead without any desire for gain and wait on a loyal devotion. I hope one day, or other, they may understand me rightly. That is when Bhakti Siddhanta says, everything has been done by our child. Yes, we are risking our life offending devotees, to give them what they need to become successful for themselves. Just to help devotee, one has to take risks to do that. That requires a heavy amount of compassion, heavy amount of realization, heavy amount of fortune, a blessing from our child to be able to do that. How you understand the question you asked me the other day? What makes you to be like this when you have been severely mistreated in so many ways? What gives you courage to continue loving the people instead of killing them, abandon them, to hell with you? Why? All right. I think I'll be sorry for having a question.
Yes, thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Sri Gurudev. Please kindly accept my witnesses, Gurudev. So my question was about the mind. Maybe you have answered it a bit. So I'll still ask the question. Srila Prabhupada quotes the verse 342 in the purport that Manasas tu paro buddhir yo buddhi paratasya means higher than the mind is the intelligence, and higher than even the intelligence is the soul. But still we find that the mind, it controls the intelligence, it directs the soul. So what are the reasons that the mind is not being able to be under the intelligence? I mean, the intelligence is not being able to be strong enough to direct the mind. Yeah.
Because intelligence in the mode of passion, the mind is in the mode of goodness. Goodness is superior to passion. That is why the intelligence is supposed to control the mind. But you have seen that the mind controls the intelligence, but not the soul. Not the soul. It's always intelligence and ignorance that the mind controls, but not the soul. Yes, if you control something that you are superior to, you don't control something which is superior to you. So I think it's our Gita 634, the purport. Prabhupada mentioned that in the purport. The mind controlled intelligence because the mind is very strong. And he gave example that sometimes you see that the sickness is very strong, it's stronger than the medicine. When the sickness is stronger than the medicine, the medicine will cure the disease. So the mind is stronger than intelligence. So you control intelligence. Because in the mode of goodness. That is the mind. All right.
So, Srila Gurudev, how can we strengthen our intelligence so that it can control the mind?
So Krishna said about Gita, that is chapter 12, beginning from text 8. Engage your mind and intelligence in serving me, my service. Me. Engage the mind and intelligence. Invest your intelligence in me. If we do that, then the mind and intelligence become pure, become purified, become pure, and can be transformed. We have to invest our intelligence. Investment will yield a very good result. Similarly, if we invest the mind, invest our intelligence in Krishna, we will give example. By this is to hear constantly about Krishna. If we hear, we are giving something for the mind to hold on to. That is hearing. If we hear properly, we are giving something to the mind to hold on. The mind is going to think about that, which we are hearing. And when the mind is engaged, intelligence is also planning it. Intelligence is also planning it. So the mind and intelligence, we are engaging our intelligence in planning how to do our devotional service, which the mind has already accepted, will become purified. And the mind and intelligence will go other places. They will remain with Krishna. That is the secret of hearing about Krishna constantly. And the intelligence will be planning how to execute that. If the mind is planning how we should do, and the intelligence is planning how to do our services, When the man have accepted, yeah, this is what I'm going to do, and this is very good for me to do. Intelligence will start to plan how to do it. Intelligence will give all the necessary things. You should not sit with people who are not interested in reading, interested in chanting. That's intelligence. It's detecting. Don't sit with people who are always talking project. Don't sit with them. It's intelligence, it's detecting. And when we start moving like that, we are making progress. Then Christian will be supporting us by sending us the appropriate places, persons, and facilities for us to become successful in that. That is the meaning of being purposeful in Christian consciousness, or being mindful in Christian consciousness.
Yes, sure, Gurudev. Thank you very much. I have a last question, Gurudev, if you permit me. You mentioned that the way to punish someone who is falsely proud is to give him a big position. So does it apply to the devotees also, that when a devotee is very falsely proud, to give him a big position? I mean, just to engage him somewhere.
Yes, yeah. Yes. Give him a big position, he's going to offend everybody and fall down. Give him a big position, he will offend everybody, especially the senior ones. Let's say even senior to him, in terms of Christian, he will minimize everybody, he will not see who is who. He start using a position as a means to dominate others. We think that is the merit of his or her being in Christian consciousness. Position, this is my merit. Yes, merit it. Yeah. I'm in movement for 100 years now. This position. If you don't give it to me, they're minimizing me. They will fight. When they give it to them, they will not chant Hare Krishna again. They're very busy in so many meetings and political things and beings. They will not chant again. That's already fallen. See, the person is already finished. You see, they will not chant. Even if you see the bead with them in the hand, they're not chanting. They will carry the bead, they will forget. That is how Maya is powerful. We say Maya is powerful, they don't know how powerful is the mind. The Maya. The Maya will give you the bead to hold in the hand there, but you not chant. But you carry the bead to hold there, but you not chant. I will see many devotees. The bead, the bead is there in the hand. The bead is there in the hand. The lips, you know, but the bead is the whole day. The bead is there in the hand. This is not okay. You know, if you don't carry the bead, people will see this. Prabhu, I've not seen you with the whole day today. But if I carry the bead, nobody will talk to you. You think that you're chanting, right? What do you think? What do you think? The person is chanting 128 rounds every day on the Kartik for 30 days, 128 rounds in the Kartik day, 64 every day, but the person is too duplicitous. What do you think is responsible for that? I'm asking you, what do you think is responsible for that? 128 rounds every day for 30 days Kartik period. Normal day, the Kartik is 64, or every day 64. But the person's duplicity is very, very high. The person's envy is very, very high. The person's anger, very high. Little things, you see how you flare. Double chances every day. What do you think is responsible for that?
He's doing that for namesake, for getting honor, for prestige, yeah, pride.
Not chanting alphabet. Not chanting. See, this is second counter. the mind is still frame, still frame, iron. The mind is considered iron, still frame. Why the mind is still framed? If after chanting, the tears are not coming in the eyes, the body is not shaking. I think what it is said. Yes. Certainly that heart is still framed, which, in spite of one's chanting the holy name of the Lord with concentration, see, with concentration, does not change and feel ecstasy, at which time tears fill the eyes and the hair stand on end. Still framed. All right, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Thank you very much. I think there are no more. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Eka Krishna Prabhu, I'm greeting Eka Krishna. He's behind you there.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All right, I think we are finished for
Yes,
today.
Sri Gurudev.
Thank you all very much.
Yes.
Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Mukunda-mālā-stotra ki jai,
Jai.
Kulaśekhara Maharaj ki jai,
Shla Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj ki.
Itai
Shla
Gora
Bhakti Dhira Swami ki.
Nandi.